Welcome to TrialSite News podcast series. Today, we welcome Roseanne Onyia, founder of a clinical research organization in Nigeria called Clinique Research Development Limited. TrialSite News is thrilled to have Roseanne on the podcast as she brings a wealth of knowledge, expertise, and practical experience to conducting clinical trials in Nigeria. She spent 15 years working with major pharmas, Abbott, Ovation Pharma, Insys Therapeutics, and CRO's Icon, where she undoubtedly learned tremendously about conducting large trials in Western Africa. TrialSite has written about Nigeria and the incredible promise there for research. With 200 million people, Nigeria is Africa's most populated nation and largest economy as measured by GDP. A diverse, dynamic, and enterprising people with lots of healthcare challenges, the burgeoning nation has struggled on the healthcare front based on its size and wealth. TrialSite News suggested in previous writings that perhaps clinical research could represent a framework to bring together healthcare assets nationwide in a way that encourages innovation, helping it to potentially leapfrog existing constraints. Ms. Anya is the convener of the nation's Clinical Investigator Summit, bringing together key stakeholders representing clinical research to discuss the state of clinical trials in Nigeria. So, Roseanne, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
The pleasure is ours. So, to kind of give our audience a little bit of a get to know you, we'd like to start by asking where you grew up, high school, college, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. So I'm the founder and the CEO of Clinique Research Development Limited, also the convener of the Clinical Research Summit. I grew up in Lagos. I was born in Lagos, grew up in Lagos, attended my high school and college in Lagos before leaving for the United States, where I furthered my education.
So, how did you find your way into a career in clinical research?
I became interested in clinical research when I discovered its benefits and what it could mean to the continent of Africa. I did my research, I took courses in the field, then a job opportunity came up for monitoring an inhalation therapy drug that needed someone that had experience in with a respiratory therapeutic background. I applied for the position, and because I'm a respiratory care practitioner, I was offered the position. And ever since, I've never looked back. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Now, we know that you've worked in different environments, from large pharmas and CROs to a startup. How did you get to the point of becoming an entrepreneur and launching your own venture?
Having worked with farmers for many years, I worked as a CRA, a study manager for many study startup activities. I realized that Africa is the new frontier for clinical trials. And in order to make this possible, there was need to have a CRO that was knowledgeable on Africa, the terrain, and also using global standards and global work ethics. So this realization gave birth to Clinique Research Development Limited.
So what do you see as the biggest challenges facing research in Nigeria today?
Nigeria is a country with so much potential in the area of clinical research, but with challenges, of course. We've had issues with our regulatory processes, lack of expertise for researchers, but things are gradually changing and things are getting better. We have challenges in the area of funding, so there's lack of funding. Most researches are funded by the research institutions and foreign grants. We have issues with brain drain. This has been one of the greatest obstacles to the development of the country. The number of intellects we're losing to the Western world is on the high. So this has really affected the nation. Then also we look at areas of capacity building for principal investigators and for our research team. Then also inadequate standard research facilities. These are issues or challenges that we face in the areas of clinical research.
Now, Roseanne, the homework we've done has led us to believe that given Nigeria's wealth and entrepreneurial-minded population, the health system could be so much better. Is this a correct assumption, or are we off here?
No, you're not off. It is correct. There is very little, or in some cases, no support from the government, which makes things difficult. Minimal budgets allocated to health, and this has affected the healthcare system negatively. And as you rightly noted, Nigerians are entrepreneurial minded. Many doctors have set up practices to help fill this gap.
Now, what would you suggest or what do you think needs to be done to improve health delivery in the country?
In order to improve health delivery in the country, the government will need to allocate more funds to the health sector and capacity building for medical professionals and invest more in technology.
Now, how sizable is the investigator and research site community in Nigeria today?
The research community is quite large. We at Clinique are currently working on a database to capture majority of the principal investigators in Nigeria and West Africa. So it's quite a large community of researchers we have here.
And do doctors learn about research and become investigators in Nigeria?
Oh yes, they do. We have the Association of the Good Clinical Practices of Nigeria. They guide and they provide investigators training, and all investigators are required to obtain the GCP training and certification. And also sponsors, farmers, and CROs looking to start up studies would also train our investigators. So that's how they get their training.
I see. Now we visited the Nigeria Clinical Trials Registry. Do you think most studies in Nigeria are disclosed in that database?
Because the Nigerian, that's the NREC, the Nigerian Health Research Review Ethics Committee grants approvals for studies. They should have a reliable database. However, majority of those studies are also listed on clinicaltrials.gov.
Now, what do you see as at least three big opportunities to conduct research in Nigeria?
Nigeria has a large and diverse naive population. We have a large number of highly skilled healthcare practitioners. We have a large number of hospitals which can serve as points for recruitment of clinical trial participants. We have efficient courier service, transport system, our communication network, and registered clinical trial support services. So those are opportunities to conduct research here in Nigeria.
Now, for those that are interested, what unique opportunities does Africa offer as a continent to clinical research?
Africa, Nigeria, Africa, we are one. So it's a large and a diverse population. We have drug naive population, very highly skilled medical professionals, and we are open to research.
So, what do you see as the biggest challenges to overcome to open up more sponsors to work with Nigeria?
I think sponsors will be willing to conduct research when studies are conducted adhering to GCP guidelines and data that is captured during the studies are actually clean and usable. I think that would really help encourage sponsors to bring studies to Nigeria.
Now, we understand many in Africa are hesitant to embrace Western pharmaceutical sponsors due to historical occurrences. Do you think trust is still an issue? And if so, what can be done to improve and tighten collaboration between drug sponsors, academic medical centers, and research sites in Nigeria?
I think we Africans now understand better the need for research and its importance and benefits. Nigerians are now more receptive to research as long as they have a clear understanding of what and why they're taking the drug. Capacity building for research personnel and the participants will go a long way to improve collaboration between sponsors and research sites.
Now, although an uncomfortable topic, we felt we had to bring it up. And Many reports lead one to believe that the crime rates are very high in at least certain parts of Nigeria, such as in its largest city, Lagos. Is this more Western perception or reality? And if it is reality, do you see conditions getting better and safer?
Um, Speaking about Lagos, Lagos is like any major city in the world. Crimes are committed, but it's actually one of the safest cities in Nigeria. The people here are loving and welcoming. There's freedom of movement. There's a vibrant nightlife. So I do think it's a Western perception.
Now, for pharmaceutical sponsors listening to this podcast, what would be a good resource for them to learn more about research partnerships in Nigeria?
A good resource for sponsors will be the National Food and Drug Administration Commission, the National Health Research Ethics Committee, the Association of Good Clinical Practices Nigeria, and we at Clinique Research Development Limited will be a good resource for any sponsor looking to come into Nigeria.
And finally, before we let you go today, do you have any closing statements about your firm and opportunities for research in your country?
Yeah. So Clinique Research Development Limited is a CRO. We're based in Nigeria. We provide farmers, CROs with services using global good clinical practice standards and that ensure that data that's collected are clean and that they're usable. We're familiar with the region, the language, and we have knowledge of the terrain, affording us the ability to communicate with research professionals in Africa. Our services include site selection, coordination, and monitoring, ethics and regulatory applications, research, project management, clinic data management. We provide pharmacovigilance services. Then we also provide clinical training and site management training also for the PIs. And as I mentioned earlier, Africa is the new frontier for clinical trials. Nigeria offers researchers a unique opportunity to evaluate therapies with naive population, obtain reliable ethnic data, meet quicker enrollment goals, and obtain trusted results at low cost advantage. Nigeria has what it takes, and Nigeria is ready. So we welcome all the sponsors.
Absolutely. Well, the opportunity seems wide open right now. Well, Roseanne, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and we're glad you could make it today.
Thank you so much for having me.